Hello and welcome. My name is Ariel. We and Nacho are going to do about 30 minutes of a very gentle yoga class, very restorative leaning, geared towards better sleep. So you'll want a few props today to make this as relaxing, as comfortable as possible. If you have pets who are not an orange cat that stay still, you can use pets. I love having pets in a class, but otherwise something like a bolster, a pillow, a couch cushion, even folded blanket, some things to keep you comfortable and supported as we move through our practice. We'll move through just a handful of poses today. There'll be a couple of minutes, 2 to 4 minutes hold per pose. We begin with a little breath work and we'll finish with a little breath work as well. So go ahead and get comfortable in a nice, cozy seated position, whatever that looks like for you. You can sit flat on the floor. I'm sitting on a folded towel, or a folded blanket rather. You can lean your back against something if that's more comfortable for you. Take the hands wherever is comfortable, maybe on the thighs, maybe hands in prayer, maybe hand on the heart and the belly. Maybe a cycle of breath to get started, working yourself towards either a soft gaze or closed eyes. Taking a moment to let yourself settle and get comfortable. Starting to turn the mind towards sleep, towards rest. The option to do a body scan here, just checking in to see how your body is feeling. Where are you? How are you showing up right now? Knowing that the way that you are showing up is perfect just as it is. And perhaps turning your focus to your breath. Again, just noticing what is the breath like in this moment. It doesn't have to be any particular way, no need to change anything, no expectations. You just are checking in to build a picture. The more frequently you check in with the breath and with the body, the better mind-body connection you build. It's a little easier to sort of be in your body, be connected to your body. If I say check in with your body and your breath and you have no idea what to do and nothing happens, that is totally okay. And perhaps you'd like to take a few breaths with using your exhale to release anything you maybe found in the body, anything in the mind that needs a little encouragement to go. And allowing yourself to be free, to be easy. Allowing yourself to be whatever you are in this moment. Very gently, when you're ready, fluttering the eyes open. We're going to move into our first pose here. We're going to do a forward fold, but because we're gearing towards sleep, we want this to be as passive as possible. So I recommend a prop of some kind, and depending on your level of flexibility, the shape and size of your body, this one I find tends to be a little more complicated in a lot of bodies. So let's figure out how to make it comfortable. or wherever anybody is at, taking the legs out in front of you. If you're hypermobile and your legs extend here, maybe take like a towel or something, roll it up. You can just do this just because too. I find it quite comfortable. Underneath, you can't even see that, underneath the knees. And then get my sweater out of the way here. Experiment a little bit. So if you lean forward, are you comfortable here? If not, grab something to make almost like a stopping point for yourself that's a more comfortable angle for your upper half. So I'm going to take my nice long bolster, I'm going to rest it on my feet and my ankles and put it on a sort of angle so that I can forward fold a little bit, but because my body is not flexible enough that I can fully fold over my legs, I also have, some stuff, some body parts in the way here. To me, it is not comfortable to lay forward in this pose without a prop. So if you are like that, grab something nice and tall. You can stack blocks or something, anything, pillows. Rest your hands wherever is comfortable. If you're having trouble finding a comfortable spot here, perhaps hands behind you. And then perhaps what's most comfortable for you is to sit a little more upright. Maybe you sort of avoid a forward fold at all. Many options. Whatever feels comfortable and best in your body is the correct option for you. You do not have to look at all how I look in any of these shapes. You can also move. You can change your mind. You can experiment. You can play around. You can come in and out of the pose as many times as you'd like. We've got just about 30 more seconds here. As we move through these postures, the goal isn't necessarily a stretch. Maybe if that's what you're going for, then of course go for that. But really, we're just trying to wind the mind down, wind the body down. A little connectedness to self before you head to sleep. Lovely. Go ahead and work yourself out of that. We're going to come now onto our backs for a reclined butterfly. And depending on your flexibility, you may want 1 or 2 blocks here. I say flexibility, but really I mean the makeup of your body. It's not always so much about flexibility. Sometimes it's about size of the thighs or the belly or the shape of the hips. So we're going to come on back, feet together, knees wide. If this is not so comfortable for you, take something like a block underneath one or both knees. Or if you want more of a stretch, you can take a pillow or block underneath your feet. We will be here for about 3 minutes. 4 minutes, rather. So perhaps going for a deep stretch is not quite what you want. Perhaps something more passive. But again, find whatever feels good for you here. Allowing yourself to settle, resting the hands anywhere that's comfortable. If you settle for a moment and you find that actually this is not quite comfortable, this is not quite what my body wants, you can change, adjust, add props, remove props, swap things around. You can do it 100,000 times per pose if you want. The goal is rest, sort of kind of stillness, but stillness does not work for everyone. As I've laid here a little bit, I actually don't quite like this so much in my hips today, which is different for my body. Usually I can hold this one for quite a long time, but today, oh yes, much better. with a little support under my knees. And we'll have some time in silence between these poses. If you find you're not quite sure what to think about, perhaps turn your focus back to your breath. You can do something like a counting breath. So you'd inhale and say to yourself, number 1. Exhale is number 2. Inhale, number 3. You work yourself up to 10. And when you hit 10, circle back, start over again at 1. And perhaps noticing the points of contact between you and the floor beneath you, and you and any props you may be using. Perhaps looking for a place you can soften more. Is there unnecessary tension anywhere in your body? I notice my shoulders are very engaged for some reason, so I'm gonna give that a little wiggle, see if I can get that to relax. We've got just a few more cycles of breath here. Lovely. When you're ready, perhaps using the hands as an assist, we'll bring the knees together. And we're going to come into a supported bridge pose with an alternate option of doing legs up the wall. So if your choice is supported bridge, you'll want something like a block, maybe something softer than a block. Sometimes blocks are a little firm for this purpose. We'll scoot the toes in towards the hips so we can lift the hips up, place the block somewhere around the tailbone. And you may need a few tries here, a few times to lift up the hips, adjust the block slightly, and set them down. See if you can find a comfortable place. And you're welcome to stay here. We have many, many options for the lower half. So you can keep feet flat on the floor. You can go back to butterfly if you'd like to do that again. You can extend your legs out long. And you can also do a sort of kind of legs up the wall here, even without a wall, by pulling the knees in, floating the feet. And again, depending on your anatomy or your shape, everything about you, if your legs don't sort of, I don't know if this is the right phrase, but like if you can't comfortably balance yourself here, you can take a strap around the back of the legs. You can just hold on to your pants, give your legs a little more encouragement so that you don't have to be actively holding the legs up here. Wherever you're at, any of those options, you can move through different poses if you'd like, or different variations. We've got about 2 more minutes here, so plenty of time to settle, to find a shape that feels nice. If you're having any issues with your prop, if you can't find a comfortable place with your prop, you can do all of the same variations I gave, just without it. It'll feel a little bit different, but it is totally acceptable. Totally still counts. And additionally, if you're near a wall or a chair, you can put your legs up the wall or the chair as well. Nice and easy with the breath, allowing your mind to slow down and angle itself towards sleep. And we'll take 3 more cycles of breath here at your own pace. It's staying on your back, but working yourself slowly out of the pose after your 3rd cycle of breath. If you're using a prop under the hips, scooting the toes in towards the hips first to lift up, remove the prop. You can take a moment here to just settle on the ground, maybe sway the knees side to side. And when you're ready, we're going to work ourselves into a reclined twist. So either feet flat on the floor to start or knees up in the air. We'll let the knees come off to one side. Depending on how you feel, maybe letting the knees hover, maybe they touch the ground, and again, maybe you'd like a prop underneath the knees. I like to take my hand on top of my thigh and then opposite arm up like a cactus, maybe out wide like a T. Head looking up towards the ceiling or perhaps in the opposite direction as the knees. A nice gentle twist here. We'll stay for about 90 more seconds. Again, finding anywhere that you can soften just a little bit more. Allowing the other parts of your day to fall to the back of your mind. Letting yourself really start to slow down. And moving with exceptional laziness. Work your knees back to center, and in your own time off to the other side, taking your prop with you if you'd like. Again, starting knees flat on the floor or knees up, letting them fall off to one side. Hands are wherever is comfortable. If you want an additional stretch, I recommend, or I personally like cactus arms. I feel a nice stretch through my sort of through my armpit here. You can also take the arm up overhead for probably a shoulder stretch, or you can just rest it anywhere that feels good. If you find that your mind is all over the place, or perhaps in wandering to places that are not conducive to sleep, just encouraging your focus back to your breath. And if a focus on the breath does not work for you, maybe noticing where and how in the body you feel this pose. Continually letting your mind wander through different areas of the body to find places you can soften or rest more. And we'll take 2 more cycles of breath here. And when you're ready, working your knees back up to center. We're gonna do one more pose before we finish our final meditation. We're gonna do child's pose. So slowly work yourself up, either by kind of rolling up like I've done, or first coming off into a fetal position, then coming over. I highly, highly recommend something like a bolster here. I find this really makes this extremely comfortable, hopefully for you too, and very passive. Child's pose in the same way, toes together, knees wide, coming forward. You can, of course, do this without a prop if you'd like. The option to cross your hands to rest your forehead on if you're using a prop, or even on the floor. If this is a little iffy for your ankles, like we did for our forward fold, you can roll up a towel or blanket for some support under the ankle. Additionally, you can add a prop under your hips, maybe on top of your legs, maybe on top of the floor, but a little support for the hips as well is quite wonderful. Depending on how it feels for you, you can rock the head side to side to sort of massage the forehead. We'll be here for about another minute before we close our practice. Ever so gently, when you're ready, working the chest up. You've got two options for this. You have infinite options, really. Two options for this final meditation. You can come down to lie on your back if you'd like, or stay seated. I'm going to stay seated to hold space for you. If you're lying down or seated, really grab anything at all to make you more comfortable, a blanket, pillow, anything you'd like, maybe even something to cover the eyes. Resting the hands anywhere that feels comfortable. And perhaps closing the eyes if you'd like. Resting the hands anywhere that feels comfortable. Perhaps closing the eyes. And we'll stay here for about 3 minutes. Taking this time again to just relax, to find a way to soften. Encouraging softness both in the body and in the mind. Knowing you can turn your focus back to your breath if you want or need. And taking these final moments for you. Knowing that the way you are in this moment is perfect as it is. Finding a sense of comfort and relaxation in this practice. Allowing yourself to be soft, quiet, and calm on your way to sleep. And wherever you are, whatever shape you have chosen, begin to expand the breath, allowing it to take up a bit more space in the body with each inhale. Perhaps beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, bringing a bit more movement back into the body. If you're lying down, perhaps rolling off to one side before working yourself up to seated. Gently working the eyes open. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope you feel rested. I hope you have a wonderful night of sleep, and I will see you again soon.